The time for the dark side is now. And with this new Star Wars project, things are heating up. Welcome to Star Wars Uplink. Now, I have been on a rampage recently, wanting more of the dark side in Star Wars, and I think it is time for the dark side to thrive. With shows like The Acolyte coming up, which promise to have a more dark focus, I think it's time. And now that we have Tales of the Empire, it is even more exciting. Because now not only are we going to see deeper dives into more of the aspects that we haven't seen in Star Wars, we're also going to get deeper looks into the dark side itself. Specifically from the Empire's perspective, we're going to see how an Inquisitor goes from Jedi to Inquisitor, how they work with Darth Vader, and we're going to see a deeper look into the Night Sisters with some flashbacks to General Grievous. What the heck? So that's what I want to talk about in this video, is how is this going to change the landscape for Star Wars, and what exactly will we see in Tales of the Empire? Tales of the Empire is starting where Tales of the Jedi left off. Now that we have the structure coming forward, we kind of know what to expect. We're going to see 2 stories, 3 episodes each, 6 episodes total, going into some of the aspects around Barriss and her path to becoming an Inquisitor, and we're going to see Morgan Elsbeth and her journey through the earlier days of her upbringing almost, or more experience in the Night Sister training. I'm really looking forward to it. This is the overview that they have on the press release or announcement thing. Journey into the fearsome galactic empire through the eyes of 2 warriors on divergent paths, Night Sister Morgan Elsbeth and former Jedi Barriss Offee. Like the first season following Ahsoka Tano and Count Dooku, Tales of the Empire focuses on previously untold events of the lives of the featured characters, and teases that we'll learn how a young Morgan Elsbeth navigates the expanding Imperial world towards a path of vengeance, while former Jedi Barriss Offee does what she must to survive a rapidly changing galaxy. The choices they make will define their destinies. I love this overview. I think there's an opportunity here for them to take what Tales of the Jedi did and bring it even more well-rounded, I should say. Because like one of the big gripes that I had specifically with Tales of the Jedi was just the time jumps. I think it felt very scattershot. Like I felt like we needed more time with each of the individual vignettes. So hopefully from the trailer, it looks like we're going to see more of like a continuation of one story with each of these, instead of like, okay, here's Barriss Offee at age 10 and then 20 and then 30. Like, we aren't going to get that like we saw with Ahsoka and that we saw with Count Dooku. And I think that's just going to benefit the story. I hope that we're going to see more of a cohesive, focused view into these characters, because I think that's what we need, and I'm very excited for that fact, because Tales of the Jedi did something really fun, which was just showcasing these little vignettes, these moments that we've always kind of like wondered about or theorized about, or maybe we saw mention or reference to in either the animated shows or any of the books. Now we see it for sure, how it's going to work and how it pieces together into the broader galaxy. So I'm very much excited for that. As for what it's going to do with Star Wars as a whole and its impact on the rest of the lore, I think it's going to deeply impact how we perceive certain characters. It's going to change the perception that we have of Morgan Elsbeth in like The Mandalorian and Ahsoka. It's going to change Barriss Offee and what we look at when we see Rebels. I think we're going to see deeper dives and deeper character moments for the people that are involved in the Empire. I'm really excited to see the Grand Inquisitor and the specific pieces of what is required to become an Inquisitor. That's something that has been expanded in Legends before and hinted at in canon even, but now we're going to see it firsthand, what it takes to go from, yes, you are a Jedi, you've been hunted, you've been found to be a Jedi, and you've chosen to survive. You haven't chosen to die or try to escape the Empire. You've chosen your path to be an Inquisitor, to hunt people that you previously would have called friend. I think that is going to be a very interesting and brutal look into what we see when we see the Inquisitors on screen in the Rebels and like Obi-Wan and any future content. I think there is an opportunity here for them to do something really cool. And like, honestly, I've talked about this on the podcast before. I would love to see an Inquisitor focused show. I think it could be animated. I think it could be live action. I just think that there is this opportunity to showcase the Inquisitors in this really fascinating new way because the Inquisitors are cool. What does it look like for Darth Vader to have this group of Force-sensitive people underneath his wielding of their power to spread across the galaxy, identifying Force-sensitive people and trying to build your cause and destroy the last semblances of power in the galaxy for the Jedi? I just think the stories write themselves, so I hope everyone loves this and Lucasfilm's like, okay, people kind of like this Inquisitor thing. I also think Morgan Elsbeth is a really good character to focus around because we see a lot of references to her in Mandalorian and Ahsoka, specifically Ahsoka. They definitely dove deep into her character there and gave her a big role. So leveling the playing field, beefing her up as a character to have this bigger focus, I think is an awesome opportunity to see something really interesting. Now that we've gotten a taste of it in Ahsoka, what does it look like for Morgan Elsbeth in the earlier days to wield this power, to develop this power, to where she gets to the point that we see her in The Mandalorian? We see her as a foe to Ahsoka in a greater aspect. I think that is going to be really awesome to see. And also, this trailer was so freaking good. I had goosebumps. I was fist pumping the air. I was so hyped to see something like this. I was talking with a friend of mine and basically like, this might be the best Star Wars trailer I've ever seen. And that is awesome to see for animated stuff. It's coming out very soon. May 4th is when this is going to come out. And oh man, I am so excited. I think this is going to be a great opportunity. While I didn't necessarily enjoy the Ahsoka part of it just because it's felt like a really familiar story, this is new. These are new characters, relatively new characters. That were introduced as side characters that we get to see and expand and view the Empire through, and I'm very much excited for it. But let me know your thoughts on the details here. How do you think this is going to impact Star Wars as a whole? Do you think it's going to just be the domino to knock all the rest of the dominoes to where we get more dark side stories? I hope so, especially after seeing the stuff with Andor and how impressive and just ominous and oppressive that the Empire can be and is in a lot of cases. They aren't just the bumbling stormtroopers, but they can be these like forces of evil. I think there's a lot of opportunity here, but let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, check out our podcast, and may the Force be with you.